That is like my prediction that at 10 o'clock tonight, we probably won't know who won because a lot of precincts have not been allowed to start counting that. Yeah, those are what are not, that's not, in some states, they can't start counting those yet. So, I guess what I'm wondering if I can just connect this to that particular piece. We'll just betting when they're buying something. Okay, we got to get a hat shop in here. We got to get a hat shop. Let's, I think we got the biggest, we got a pretty good lot of customers through. This painted metal rail? Sure, why not? Everyone likes painted metal rails. We'll turn them on. And we will go back to here. And then what we'll do is we can put the rails in. 16, 10. The Eddie Fun Mitchell Company Wooden Slide Friction Coaster. Yeah, that's more my speed. So we could, you know, what you do is you get a park and then you collaborate with other people, and only one person can be editing at a time. And so you could bring in like a...
Here's one. So we're going to be reading the inmate. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
And a drink place and a whole lot of places for people to sit down. I say we do another. Let's do the same thing. Design individual, the person who wants to really zoom in tight and ensure that every blade of grass is exactly where it needs to be. And there's a lot to like. Make this interesting. I find the slow drip of mechanics from the tutorial, and then, you know, likewise, I want to figure out what, like, I'm kind of excited at making signs. I'm excited at the project. Be able to hear it, hopefully. Can you hear it?
I have my volume down, so it doesn't.
Oh, well, it's music. It's music.
I never hear the background noises.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I get told all the time.
It's old. It's old music that has. During a roller coaster test, you could ride it. And you can, but the test doesn't progress when you're riding it. And I think that's a bunch of bullshit. That's going to be the mechanic zone 3 done. Okay, how do we assign mechanics to that zone? Let's see. It has problems. So, all right, I've talked about it. So should we play it? Does that make sense? I think we played it yesterday. Again, not the beard, just like anything around. Because I have weird hairs that pop up on my neck and weird shit. So some of those really piss me off. Of course, right now I'm all shaggy because talentless hacks. But by the time that we invest enough effort and time into the park, we're going to start to get pretty good, right? We're going to improve.
To dump them at the mill by end of day. Probably don't want to be sued after electrocution incident. Poor kid.
Well, many years ago, the company I worked for had box seats at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And so, you know, that's honestly, that's how I got...
Way. There's definitely a kid in the kitchen, but I can't get to them until I lure that thing back to its weird nest. If it wants food, maybe I could get a...
Filters are questionable. It's bad. It is really, I don't like it. All right. So I'm looking for a guest services. Let's see. We need a couple things. We need a staff facility. So here's the built-in staff facility. We're gonna see to guess which way he may have voted. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't rude. He wasn't condescending. He was totally normal. He was totally his normal dude.
Oh, yeah. I keep it in the basement, but do me a favor first. Just between you and me, I don't pay for trash pickup and forget to dump.
Ride condition. Now, ride condition goes from 100 to 0. Now, the ride also has a certain... Isn't that fucking funny? Conduit to connect them. So the power generator and the power distributor. Power generator speaks for itself, and then the power distributor is sort of like it's like a transformer, I guess. Probably the best. I mean, that dude's wacky, man. That dude is wacky. It feeds the stolen election mantra. Lots of small counties go red. Skews the curly. Yeah, well, that's exactly what happened last year, right? Bugginess. The problem is when the bugginess gains so much critical mass that it tips, and then people just pile on, right? People want to pile on because it's fun to pile on. And if that happens, they have no one to blame but themselves. Okay, we've made it through all, well, okay, we haven't got through Renegades. Here's Renegades. So Renegades, what's the name of the franchise? I love the name. I just forgot what it was. Yeah, Hootie Hoot. I love everything about that. I love everything about that. That'll be very yeah, it could happen super easy. Super easy. Legally. Yeah, it's and you have some of these mascots. Chief Beef, Gulpy Rex, Cosmic Cow, Queen Splash, she's the queen of the pool. King Coaster, Crescendo Melodis, and
Ranger. Come on, we can find him together. Never mind. Let's get out of here.
Right? That's the name that just seems to make the most sense. They're a bar band. It's a band that is easily replicated because their pieces are all. So if I pull these, like I can pull this down to the edge here, and you can see it shows every vertices of how this path is love, path is life, was created. Now I can take this, I can pull it back down like to here. Then if I want, I can take this and just go, oh, things that took me a while to understand because it didn't make sense. This is not a good maintenance simulation, right? Now I do know that roller coasters have certifications. I realize this. Hey, Johnny, what's up? Right, this is the way it works. So it helps if you understand how the United States is set up. A lot of land, some very large metropolitan set there, and now you've got it cut out. So now people won't walk in there. So you want to put like a big tree, you want to put a big statue, you want to put a sign that says, fuck you all. Now you're there, and now your people won't walk through it, right? So many other people will put them out there, and they've got the ratings, they're all pre-tested and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll stick my creativity bits with other elements of the game. What drives my wife crazy is women. Women for Trump. It's weird, right? She can't comprehend it because she's looking at Trump as, let me show you. I like the fact that I can come in here. I think these are 12, right? And let's see, we're going to go. Okay, so that's working at that. So again, working elevations is go and come back. We can be creative. And then the process of us being creative is also going to make us better at the goddamn game. Whether that's for experiences, especially as people start to get riled up. Now, porn, someone brought up porn earlier, and I think that's a fascinating case because there's a fuck ton of nothing Korea, China, Alexis, nothing parties to be both in there. But more often than not, I can just make it work where I've got the mechanical ones and the janitorial ones. But in some cases, it's not necessary where I'll have both. Like mid-pier and pier, I have both janitors and people working. Now, if I was setting up this map now, geographically close together, it works out okay. But it's pretty clear that I need another attendant at 1,700. But I don't have one, right? So what I'm going to do is... So this is their schedule. We can break it down. We can also set up zones. Zones it's usually pretty important to keep your workforce combined, especially
Resistance mechanism.
And we'll go with that same Greek font. Burger bitch. And that means this has to be a That's the mystery. Here, let's put the hat shop fucking right here, like right fucking there. Hat shop. Let's see, is there a cool building? Do we look? Now, if I look at vendor, the question is, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Owning property in California is damn near impossible without some kind of inheritance or windfall. It is impossible, right? Plus, let's face it, studies show this is not the case, but I have a hard time believing this. Kermie, Lucy, Skinwalker, Disco Duck, Kitty, Hubble, Big Melons, Drip, Turbulento, Two-Time Killer, Mac. She's paid fair pay. She's paid $208. My cursor was hovering over that. It's basically saying if I click this, it will have a negative morale impact. Or I can pay her more here and boost her morale. But right now she's content. I can look at her thoughts. This job is nice. Looking around to make sure everything is in order. My pay is just right. 3 and 4 because we're going to run out of time otherwise. They have changed in Canada. Packages containing edible cannabis products are legal limit to a maximum of 10 milligram per candy, up to a maximum of 25. You can only buy 2. Oh, you're kidding! What the fuck, man? Nope.
Like, what are the chances that he was right there? You know?
It can't do. I use the sand paint to lighten up the bottom of my water areas to make the water brighter. Yeah, you saw that, and you saw the 3 types of water. Some people are frustrated because the water's too clean. And it's like, well, use the other kind of water, man. I mean, yeah, the line's too long, you're fucked. But again, so what I want to do here is we want to go out and then come out this way, and then we'll come back here. We'll connect up right over here. So we'll go, we'll turn as hard as. Now it wants us to put into flat rides. Let's take a second. Well, no, hold on. I just remembered something. Man. That makes perfect. Okay, you know what? I saw something funny today, and I got to share it with you. Like this really cracked me up. I actually watched this a whole bunch of times. Now, okay, maybe you won't think it's as funny as I do because I'm a little stupid, right? I just haven't had a way to put it into words, so I haven't really brought it to the table. But I've been wanting to change the text. The text that's down there, you know, it changes it once a year or whatever. But I've been kind of feeling like, you know, I feel like. Whenever you understand the band, like you listen to the band, even if you didn't like dissect every fucking word of every goddamn lyric, a guy like me who focuses very little on lyrical emphasis. I just don't, it's not my thing. And clearly, in the United States of America, we are fucking stupid. Now, might all the predictions be wrong? Maybe. But I don't know why they put this. We're going to put this over here along the staff only row. Oh, it needs electricity. 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 A number of parties, but I got nothing. I don't know anything about Korea or Chinese elections. I don't think that they've been directly influencing our elections. I think that they are directly influencing all the. This is to amaze me how many folks who've heard Rage Against the Machine are in Paul Ryan mode, having literally zero understanding of anything the band was about, and even less understanding on where any of us might stand on contemporary issues. Some of it's justified. Some of it is justified, right? But see, I got a slightly different perspective on this. Because this isn't goddamn Call of Duty. It's Planet Coaster. It spoke up to me about how they were feeling. And I said, well, I mean, that's the way it works, man. There's a reason why nobody's quit on me in 3 years. Almost 4, actually. It's approaching 4. Saying the money must flow, everything. See, that's the thing. Like, I think if everything connects, everything works, everything registers, the zones are set up, everything goes. Pin, pineapple, apple pin. Yeah, that's it. Yes. And so this one, so I had a friend, some friends brought these over, and they, but even after I repaired it still gets all jacked. Although it says not service, so fuck. Why is that? Why is that? Where's my mechanics at? Why don't you guys show? We'll actually go in and build a building using the theming and all the parts and stuff. There's a whole bunch of building parts. If that's you, by all means, knock yourself out. It's successful. Planet Coaster kind of came in and it was really successful for that niche at least. But that also spawned the other Planet game, Planet Zoo. And then Frontier had the Jurassic Park titles. So everyone was kind of waiting for Planet.
Oswald, like the wizard? The Wizard of Oz, of course. Oh yeah, I saw that one once. My parents call me Oz. Guess.
Goes around and around. 1,600 viewers. There we go. All right, here we go. We'll get started, and then we'll wait. Well, I think I know some of the stuff. We also have a new sound redemption. Okay, we've made it through all. We've made it. Well, okay, we haven't got through Renegades. Here's Renegades. So Renegades. A little garbage park. This is you can see there's a lot of people leaving the park, and I think that the game simulates sort of a exodus, kind of a hey, we're doing a shift from one creator who you like the way they've used the parts together, whether it's because of realism or whimsy or you just like the lines, right? You look at that creator's name and you look at all the other stuff they have. If you see, now I don't think this is actually true, but this is sort of the fantasy land that I live in, is as we come out of this Trumpian moment, whenever this happens, I'm not saying it happens tonight, although we will check on the election status here shortly. 5 stars, recent's got all the stuff. It's amazing. Load it up. Let's watch it crash my computer. Let's watch it crash my computer. I like it. I like it. But no, ultimately I am into this. The thing that I love, like love about Planet Coaster is the way the crowds work, right? It's just super. That means you have a better chance at making stuff happen. You have a better chance of introducing legislation that maybe appeals to one of the smaller groups that might appeal to another group. It creates interesting alliances. But this way, the way the previous map, my computer never got over 60 frames per second. Never. And that was a small map. So that was a little bit weird from my perspective. But you gotta be into the whole building theme parks thing. Like, this game is not gonna sell you on a theme park simulator. It's not, because it doesn't simulate management all that well. But if you want to add that function to the game, I would think that you'd want to replicate some gameplay aspect of it. We still got to test it, so we'll test it. And we're not going to call it the Cube 1. We're going to call it, I don't know what we're going to call it. Scale, change the scale. I'll figure it out later. Just gonna get it across. Okay. Okay, so there we get in there. Is it question mark, or is that just a question that you don't know what it is? Not terribly happy with the country I live in. I'm a little bit nervous about certain people who live with geographically close together. It works out okay. But it's pretty clear that I need another attendant at 1,700. But I don't have one, right? So what I'm gonna do is, not too many people sitting on those benches. Those are probably fairly, and I know I need this right here needs to be wider between this edge and the pools. Here, this needs to be wider. And this side over here works pretty well too. But again, people now go mostly that way and then they return mostly this way, which is a good thing. It won't stop. Somewhere in the game is the ability to manipulate that. And it's not on it doesn't appear to be on the user side. Like, you can't change that. And I think that's kind of unfortunate. When you turn the can option on and off for those workers, maybe it's a simple bug. My thing now is protecting my people. That's it. Protecting my people, my family, my friends, the people who are in my life who are at risk. Liberal state in the USA, and your daddy has trophies for rifle shooting. There you go, Gree. We don't know what is going to happen, and I can't offer any kind of peace of mind because I've not been looking. You know, I've not been looking. Now, that's fantastic. It's been like many years since you've had those. We thought maybe you just want all new stuff since you've built so many parks with those themes, but I think everything's on the table. Plus the workshop is enabled, but it's a different workshop, I guess, you know, yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's whatever, to each their own. Apparently, I say I'm not a foot guy, but apparently my wife has like really good feet. And so,
because it disconnected when I freaking lost stream. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Rage, thank you.
It would change, right? So anyway, I think that park. So if I put the M in front of it, means it's a mechanic zone. Sometimes I'll put a J in front of it, but I don't necessarily always. If I don't put it means I can put both in. So a lot of times I'll put rides and janitorial together, and I'll just associate.
Let's go in the ball pit. I don't understand.
Taking the whole thing and moving it. We're gonna move it.
Where did these three go now? Fear they have unplugged.
You'll be here. It'll be great. You'll be here. It'll be great. Now, my lady, who works for me in Georgia.
Dang it. I suck at these games. Ugh, this place is packed today. I feel like I couldn't outrun you at all, Chip. Yeah. Let's go in the ball pit. I don't understand.
Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm the only one in my family that needs to worry. My mom's husband feels pretty good. Now, if we click here, we should be able to edit this one, and we can do the same thing. Let's see if we can get it to where it snaps into...
Oops.
Some of it, it's justified. Some of it is justified, right? But see, I got a slightly different perspective on this. Because this isn't goddamn Call of Duty. It's Planet Coaster. And a drink place and a whole lot of places for people to sit down. I say we do another. Let's do the same thing. Because like we said, this is the first of who knows. If we're good at this, if we like it, if it energizes us, if we do it, I'm all in, right? I really wanna see.
No. Get wrecked.
Adjustments I'd have to make to stay away from anything that was gonna send me into just a spiral. Because I kind of knew people were calling me. I was getting phone calls from people, and they want to talk to me every day. So that means that that it's got to be cold, and we got to want the fire. And from my perspective, I wouldn't plan on it. What did I hit? There we go, pizza bitch. Park makers. Remember the last time we tried to play Planet Coaster, and I brought up the concept that, and this will definitely be a thing when I stream it, but I brought up the concept that I watched the video and I can't comprehend a Supreme Court that is questionable as far as their ethics goes. What happens when you have a president who doesn't have the best interest of all Americans in mind? These are things that when the country was formed wasn't a consideration. No one thought about these things. The name of the scenario there, and that brings up the park options when you click on it. So the park name, which of course we can change if we're so inclined, and the costs, etc. The American system is now, it's all fucked, right? And there is no way to have a new party come in. You see, well, if you think about how our government was formed, the founding fathers, one of the things that George Washington, I think it was George Washington, said, I can put a little enclosure on those. Ain't so bad. I just got to get a path to it. I got to get a path to it. Sort of, I feel like I've sort of blocked my way up, but I think I can do it here and see. Well, no, I guess we could relocate them.
What the heck? Nope. No, I can hear the music. You guys are silently vibing.
Where is the staff building? Show me. It must be embedded in here. I don't see. It says it's here, but I love cooperative games, and I'm not as big a fan of head-to-head games. It's not my thing. I'll agree. Oh my God, it's I have to.
The circuits, no camera flashes. Remember the dark eyes are watching. AI programming causes Freddy to stalk partygoers by guarding
that a lot of the greatest music that us rock and rollers are into was written by young people. Very young people. Sometimes written deal, right? Hey, you get a pop-up that says, oh, the county's coming to inspect your one of your rides today. Fuck, okay, right? You cross your fingers, you hope the maintenance up to date, and the guy comes out and he's looking at things banging on. That'd be fun. That would be cool as shit. And he's like, yeah, you're right, sucks. Painting in that spot so it all looks the same. Oh, no, you're not going to get that. That you're not getting. You're not going to get that. There's no way to do that in this game. Because what you're asking it to do is you're asking, so here's how it was. He ran for governor of California as a goddamn Democrat. Fucking nobody voted for him. He's a piece of crap. I got modded for a comment I haven't seen yet. Yeah, I'm supposed. I mean, come on. Look, when I first bought this computer, the first game I loaded was Planet Coaster 1. And the first thing I sensed for me to go back and do that little bit of detail work to help raise the score a little bit. Now I've been going kind of slow. I'm like I said, I feel like I'm a little bit of a different person. And so I'm currently, but after we work on it, it'll morph and change. You've got a vision for it and I kind of like it. But the point is, let's use that and let it grow organically. Totally lost where the hell we were. Over here. Tab once. Tab twice. Oh no, that's two. Roboduck. Clean the litter, clean vomit, clean benches, clean